tell me about, and I find this is the first evidence that it is starting, it has an effect. If you read history and you read the journals on either side, the Battle of Long Island is the first sign of the miracles of God.
And it is an unbelievable miracle. I mean, look at this. George Washington, he's a farmer. He's got citizen soldiers with they barely know how to shoot a gun. And they're going up against the world superpower. It was the largest naval fleet ever sent from one nation to another nation to that time in history. What's he thinking? How in the world is he going to do this thing? He crosses the East River onto Long Island, and they have their first major battle. Well, the Americans get routed. And the British think this is over. We're gonna win this thing. They're laughing as the colonists are running back towards Manhattan for safety. A miracle happens.
One of the reasons why they're laughing is because they know they have British warships in the river behind the U.S. troops. So as Washington is coming in, the British warships are coming down the river, and they're going to meet Washington from behind. So they'll slaughter, because they have them surrounded, they'll slaughter them from both sides.
It's the ultimate trap.
Right.
It's over. This revolution's over. Washington tells his commanders, we're going to cross the river. They say, how are you going to do this thing? Just trust me. We're going to do it. When night falls, we're going to do this thing. Night falls, and with that night comes an enormous windstorm that pushes these British ships out of the way, and Washington starts making the crossing. And then the wind shifts westerly to help facilitate this exodus, if you will. And then what's happening? The sun's going to come up. It's going to expose this scheme, and the British land troops will see it. It'll be over. What happens? David McCullough explains it better than anyone I've found. As the sun comes up, a pea soup fog drops down right over where Washington's crossing. Not so much on the Long Island side or the New York, Manhattan side, but right where Washington's crossing.
They all say in their journals, nowhere else on the island, nowhere else in the area, just over Washington's troops.
And they make the escape. 20 minutes after they get to the other side, the fog dissipates, and the British are standing there with their hands in the air. What on earth just happened? Now, I want to say something else about May 17th. I just found this. May 17th, John Witherspoon, an underrated founding father, who was one of the signers of the Declaration. On May 17th, he gave us a speech to his congregation. And he said, we will win this war because the grand artist will utilize the elements. And I kid you not, I'm not making this up. He said, he will send, God Almighty will send an unforeseen fog to halt the operations of the enemy. May 17th, the very day Washington's fasting and praying for that very miracle, the fog comes. Absolutely stunning. And this is just one of, I don't know how many experiences that follow this